Yes. All right. So I'm excited to actually do this fireside chat with the first presenter that's coming up because similar to me, she is now in technology, but that was not her journey. I don't want to say too much or give away too much because that'll take the fun out of the fire chat experience. So everybody give a round of applause for Aretha Lewin Antoine. Hi, Aretha.
Hi,
Let's
Danielle.
get your mics together. You feel good?
Feel good.
You're first, right? Are you nervous? You had
Ripping the Band-Aid right off.
All right, shout out to JP Morgan. The whole crew's over here. Everybody has on their shirts. Yes. So you're like, JP Morgan technology? What? But it's great. You guys will hear more throughout the day, and this is the first face and the first Black woman that you get to see, which is super awesome. So before we jump into it, just let them know a little bit about you, who you are, and what you're doing today at JP Morgan.
So I joined JP Morgan a few years ago, and JP Morgan is really looking forward to building new technologies. One of the things that I'm working on is I'm in the product portfolio lead. I lead 2 products, and I'm looking at how to transform how the employees order and select new products internally. So we obviously focus on our external clients, but we also want to focus on our internal employees and making sure that their experience is also a good experience as well. So that's one of the products I'm leading.
Nice. All right. So not that I did any stalking or anything, but I know that your background, so you have a degree in business finance,
Yes.
right? Which makes sense to be at JP Morgan. But how did that help you get into tech? Like, how did you know that technology was the right path for you?
So I wanted to be in tech all along. Back in junior high school in the Bronx. I don't know how many people from the Bronx here.
Shout out to the Bronx.
So I was in junior high school. We were donated a lab, the first technology lab out in the Bronx, and I got a chance to walk in, and I completely fell in love. This is what I wanted to do with my life. I was going to go and become a computer scientist. I got accepted into a college. I went off to college. Got distracted.
We all.
Computer science did not lend itself in order for me to go and enjoy my college experience. So I chose the experience over finishing my degree. I finished up in finance, went off and started to do financial management. After that, I was assigned to work on a technology project. In doing that, obviously, I fell in love again. It was my first love. In doing so, I actually raised my hand and said I wanted to go back into technology. I wanted to actually join the project that I was on to be the financial analyst on. I was able to turn the project around, started to PM the project, went back to school and got my master's degree in computer science. I went back to what I really wanted to do. Obviously, being a lot more mature, I was able to finish it up. Being a lot more mindful of what the future holds. So I went back, I got I went back and got my master's degree. I then went on into some cybersecurity, being the only person running that product. Whenever I do something, I want to do the full scope of what I do. I look for opportunity on the side, in front of me, and if I see a gap, I'm going to try to fill it. So where I saw the gap was we were having clients who were being hacked and things like that, and I just naturally put myself in those roles, and that led me into cybersecurity. Still, of course, now I'm protecting the actual technology now. I did that for a few years. I went and led a team out in Asia, also doing cybersecurity as well, and that led me into JP Morgan. I'm back into infrastructure, and I'm having a blast.
Well, let's give it up. That's a journey. And kudos to you for going back. I know many of us have that desire. I'm going to go back and I want to get this degree and I want to get my master's, and we never really do it. So kudos to you for doing that in a completely different realm. And I think that just speaks to when you truly have the passion for something, that's going to drive you. You're going to have that focus and the opportunities will come. So, being in that realm, you're a Black woman in technology, right?
I know it every day.
Technology, right? And, I actually love being in spaces like this because I think when we're in our offices or in our respective fields, we feel like we're the only one, right? So tell us, what has it been like for you being a Black woman in technology?
I think over the years it has changed. Initially, I was the only one. I was the only one in the room. I was the only one on the floor. And over the years, I've seen more of us. I've built a great friendship. And it has lent itself to where I'm a lot more comfortable in myself. A few years back, I decided I'm going to bring my full self. It is what it is. I am not going to be pretending anymore. This is who I am. Take it or leave it.
Y'all can snap throughout the day. I'm a snapper, so if you hear what you like, you snap.
So I just decided to go on El Natural. I want to be comfortable in myself. I want to be comfortable in who I am. I want to bring my best self, and I can't do that if I'm not comfortable in where I am. So I find myself now I speak up. I give my opinion. I don't wait for it to be asked for. And even if it's not asked for, I'm giving it 2 times until somebody actually listens. And if there's going to be a 3rd time, I'm sending via email. But I feel a lot more comfortable. I mean, I have a lot of great Black women in JP Morgan that I have around me. I have a great list of Black women as well. I'm super excited. I've never been in a room with this many Black women in my life. I must tell you, I am enthralled. I am so excited. So I think over the years, corporate America, I've seen our talent. They've seen what the value we bring. They've seen that we can take projects on and lead them and develop them and change them and transform them. And it's kudos to all of us for supporting each other. The way things have evolved. I've been in the industry for 25 years. So I didn't just arrive. It wasn't an overnight success. I've been to a few different companies doing a few different things. I've always changed what I'm doing. I always want to make sure I'm at the forefront of the new technology. I'm touching that new thing. I want to make sure I'm developing. I want to lead the people behind me. I want to make sure I'm reaching out to my fellow Black women and making sure that anything I could do, anything I can help, I want to make sure I'm contributing as well, because I know how it was when I was there. I had no one. So if I can lead, if I can help, if I can reach a helping hand, I'm absolutely going to figure out how to get that done. But I think definitely at JP Morgan, I feel the difference. I've seen the difference. I feel the embracement. I feel the value add. And the company's making a really strong effort to make sure that we feel as Black women, we're comfortable, we can bring our full selves, and we can feel like we are adding value to the organization.
Awesome. I love that. And you were preaching because I heard a lot of saw the faces. So no, that's super important. And I think it's one of those things where it's important for you to be authentic, right? Because I think so many of us feel like we need to fit this mold, and maybe we do, and maybe we get those promotions and we get those successes and we, climb that ladder, but you did that basically being a fraud, right? You want people to celebrate who you are in and out. So even if it means, sending those emails and speaking when nobody asked you and, doing those things, it usually will prove to be worthwhile. With that said, on that note, sounds like you've done a lot of great things. It's super impressive, super inspiring. But if you were to look back at your journey and your career and your successes to date, is there anything that you would have done differently?
So there's a few things.
Take time.
There's a few things I have done differently. I try not to live too much in regret. I always want to make sure that the decisions I'm making, I'm going to be comfortable with them in the future. But there's been a few things that I may not have been as diligent about. One of them is obviously not have had pursue my goals at the first onset. I'm being distracted by the college life, and I think some of us have in the past.
That's the frat party.
So I think that would be the first thing. And I think the next thing is that, and I mentioned this earlier in my career, I felt I had to be quiet. I felt I had to take a step back. I felt that my voice wouldn't be heard, or because I'm the only one in the room. I didn't feel that I belonged. I didn't feel like I was comfortable enough to speak up. So I think those are instances where I wish I could go back and fix those things. But again, you are who you are. Those decisions that you made in the past have led you here. It has made you the person you are. So I'm not quite sure if I'd want to change those, because I feel like having had those experiences, it has made me a better person, a stronger person, because I've had those scars now. So I will never let it happen again. So I not necessarily change it, but I do reflect on it.
Nice. I want to talk about scars, and that's like a good segue into this next question, right? Because it's awesome to be able to sit have a little fireside chat. Girl, got your name on the screen, your picture on the screen, and like, it's great now when we can celebrate and be proud of the successes, right? But what are the lessons, and especially when you think of just like being in technology, like what are the lessons that you've learned along the way? And some of them may be good and great learnings, and some of them may have been a little bit harder. But any that you care to share?
Scars, they're all over. I think the ones that I would be mindful of that I want to share with you guys is, and I mentioned this earlier, bring your authentic self. You really want to make sure that you're comfortable, you're confident in your ability. I think sometimes I lack the confidence in my own ability. I lack the confidence to come speak to you guys. I was like, I can't do this. It's so hard. There's a lot of eyes on me. But the ladies over there were cheering me on. You could do it. You could do it. You could do it. So I think is oftentimes me personally, I lack the confidence in myself. I lack the confidence in my ability. I feel like I don't belong. And I want... I'm sharing.
Y'all need to just talk after. I think she needs a hug, like a little handshake.
Nah.
We gonna hook it up.
This is a real conversation, okay? So, but I think obviously I'm getting better with it each day. Each day I strive to have more confidence and be more comfortable. I'm pretty comfortable now myself. Like I said, I do speak up, but I think that's the only thing I would say for any of the young women out there is just have confidence, be comfortable in yourself, find a good network of people that believe in you, that will spend time with you preparing for a conference like this, that will spend the afternoon with you on a Friday evening walking you through the potential questions that you might be asking. Those are the people that you want to keep close to you. Those are the people that you want to have in your corner. And each of us need to have those people in our lives.
And quite frankly, those people might be in this room. So I know some of us may have came by ourselves and you just want to soak up this information, but I would challenge this group. If you don't leave with at least 2 or 3 new numbers, Instagram, LinkedIn connections, business cards, whatever it is, it's a waste. You didn't have to pay to come here. So go ahead and get this free networking, all right?
Absolutely.
Cool. So I want to be able to allow some time for you all to ask some questions as well, but I want to do a little bit of fireside. I got some quick fire rapid. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. It's not this kind of event. All right, so quick question, and I think you kind of touched on this a little bit, but any advice that you would give your younger self? Let's talk about that college self, the first time around self.
Maybe that party wasn't worth it.
Okay.
Actually, it was.
No, that's a good. We gonna leave it right there. We gonna leave it right there. And we'll leave it there. So, what is one thing people do not tell you when you get into the tech field? That one thing.
I think as technologists, we think it's all about the technology. But for me, it's all about the relationships you build. I think when we were all in school, at least for me, the technology was gonna be self-sustained. It was gonna be tech to tech. We wouldn't need any people. Technology cannot run by itself. It needs the people. It needs the connection. The same way you have the network connection or the server connection, you need to have people connection. In order to get your project moving, you need to have people behind those projects. If your project needs components, there's a person that owns that component. You have to have a relationship with them. You have to figure out how to get your things prioritized out of everything else. It's not an endless capacity. So if you have something that needs to get done, if you have a relationship with someone, you could figure out how to get your thing prioritized ahead of everyone else's. So I spend my day working with people. I spend my day reaching out. I want to know what their kids' names are. I want to know what their birthday are. I want to know what projects they're on. I stalk people within the corporate space, because you don't want to reach out to someone when you need them. You don't want to try to build a relationship when you're asking for something. I mean, I don't have time for you. I'm going to go talk to my friend and have coffee with her or him, who's going to then ask me for a favor. So
hide the favor, sneak it in there.
So I have coffee two or three times per day. I'll be like so high in caffeine because I am stoking the flame. I am building that network. I'm making sure that the people that I'm going to need 3, 4, 5 months the road, a year from now, I'm going to be able to pick up the phone and call them. So I think from a technology perspective, it's needing to have the people behind those technology and having those relationships that you can build, which I hope all of you are going to be looking at building here as well.
Nice. Okay. What's one word that you would use to describe your future self?
Fierce.
Yes. Okay, Phoenix. All right. So before we open it up to you all, is there any final just parting words or anything that you want to leave this group with? Like I mentioned earlier, today is all about just connection, inspiration, and just really empowering one another. So, she done, okay. She got an index card. Okay.
I have an index card. I have an index card, and I want to read this to you guys because I keep this close to me. I read this. I read this frequently. It gives me the stamina. It gives me the ability to think through what I'm going to do. It's actually a poem by. Well, it's not a poem. It's from a book. A quote from a book by Marianne Williamson, Course in Miracle. And this is my miracle when I found this. But I'll read it to you. Please bear with me for a minute. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that makes us frightened, that may frighten us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? It is not just in some of us. It's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we liberate from our fears, our presence automatically liberates others. And I put this on my desk and I read it often because I have fears. I have fear of being inadequate, of not being able to measure up. I'm the first one in my family that have gone to college. I'm the first of everything. I'm the first unicorn. I mean, everywhere I go, I'm the first. So I keep this because I need a reminder to be grounded, to be fearless, to think confidently, and to believe in my ability. And I want to leave that with you guys as well.
Awesome. Thank you. So let's give it up for Aretha. Thank you so much. I'm all inspired. This is great. I'm gonna have a great day. Okay, so we'll open it up. There's I think there's a mic here and over there. So if you all have any questions for Aretha, feel free just to line up. I think we can take two. So I see two people are up. So y'all got it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be fair. We'll do one-on-one.
Hi.
Hi. I met her earlier.
You again. In the corporate space, I was curious on your thoughts and experiences on continuing to be innovative. I feel like when there's big corporate overlord, it's harder to be on the cutting edge. So how do you stay on top of innovation with JP Morgan?
I actually think when the company is larger, you have more opportunity. They're trying so many different things. There's so many different technology. I know at JP Morgan, every technology that there is, we have being tested somewhere. We have a very large lab that I used to run some time back when I first joined. So the firm gives people the opportunity to have these incubation periods where you could go off, you could go to the lab, you could test something, you could work with a vendor in a more secure environment. But for me personally, besides just having a lab environment, what I do is I look for that new project. I want to be in the front. It can be dangerous at times because if it doesn't work out, then you don't have a job. But no risk, no reward. So I really want to make sure that I am touching that new technology. I volunteer for the project. I find who the person is who's working on it. I want to go talk to that person, find out what's going on, and figure out how to navigate myself there. So if you look throughout my career, I've always been in the front. Whether it's, and I'm going to date myself now, whether it's when we're first moving things onto the internet, whether we are, I know. Yes, my career predate everything being on the internet, so yes. But I think, she keeps laughing at me. I know, they're older people too. I want to be in the front. I want to touch things. The project I'm on right now, I'm transforming how the entire firm is going to operate, how every employee in JP Morgan, 270,000 employees, are going to be able to order things in the future. So I want to be in the forefront. Is it a dangerous project? Yeah, so it is what happened. It's gonna work out. I got my legs crossed, got my fingers crossed. I would recommend just trying to figure out what are new things, where the new technology is going, and figuring out how you can help and how you can contribute on it.
Let me do a quick check-in with my folks. Do we have time for one more question? No?
No.
Okay. I want to be side friendly, so I'm gonna have my sister right here.
I'll be quick. Aretha, I just wanted to say how affirming it is to see a Black woman of Caribbean descent working in product, because I'm also you're the first one that I've ever interacted with, so I don't feel like the only one that I know anymore, so thank you. I was curious to know about the turning point for you when you decided to be your authentic self, because I understand how working in corporate, especially environments and systems that are not designed for your success or not designed for you to feel empowered. When did you decide that you were going to be your full authentic self in a sea of, just working on teams that are mostly white male dominated, working in groups and divisions that are white male dominated? I could tell you times where I've demonstrated prototypes and looked out into my group and saw all white males, and I'm like, is this really the company I'm representing? And how do I feel comfortable being my authentic self? Like, what was the turning point for you?
Unfortunately, it was turning 40. I was like, it's halfway gone. I got to figure this out. It's not much more room to go. No, I mean, that was a turning point as well. But I remember I was out in, I forgot what country I was in, but there was a point when I was in cybersecurity where I was traveling a lot. And I just remember, like, I would go to these foreign countries and everyone else was being themselves. They were speaking their regular tongue. They were being comfortable and confident. And here I am, pretending, trying not to use my Caribbean accent or trying not to be in something else or, trying to. And I was like, I'm done. I was on a plane. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to go home. I'm going to cut my hair. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not trying to bring a blow dryer and a curling iron and a this and a that. And, I was like, I'm done. And I remember coming home and I cut it short first and I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I was trying to figure this out because I also had to learn how to do it as well because I never knew how to do my hair. But I feel that at a certain age in your life, when you have that confidence and you have a certain security in your life where you know what, I'm at a point, and I really hope all of you get there before I did, because it was a long road. So hopefully you'll have more time being your authentic self. But I just decided to rip the Band-Aid off. This is who I am. I was raising 2 girls, and I really wanted to make sure that they were getting older, and I wanted them to. Life becomes easier when you have no choice than to be a role model. If you have no choice, then you have to you have to figure it out. And I have 2 girls. I have a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old. Obviously, this was a way back when, but. Raising them and seeing the world through their eyes and wanting to make sure that they develop into strong women, into a strong human being, into a more resilient self than I had previously. I think that was the strongest motivating factor I had in able to do that. Because I think my mom, I mean, she's Caribbean. She came to this country, so she lacks lots of confidence in herself as well. Smart, brilliant woman, but she just hadn't had the opportunity that I have. So I want to make sure that at least, I know everyone said they want to pass on financial wealth into their family. I want to pass on confidence into my family. Because I think once you have that in itself is the wealth you need in order to be successful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Aretha. This is awesome. How y'all feeling? This is just the first one. Like, we have a whole day left. Pardon? Yeah. So before we actually, well, thank you, Aretha. Thank you so much. We should have done this in the beginning, but I don't want us to actually go through the rest of the day without actually hearing and putting a name and a face to our hosting sponsor, which is Google. So I'm going to ask Kristen to come on up and just say a few words about Google, what they have going on, and then we'll bring on the rest of the panel.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Kristen Sills, and I'm a diversity specialist here at Google. I've been here for 7 years, and super excited that you all are here with us today. Essentially, my role is to work with external organizations and do events and conferences. So you might see me if you go to a lot of tech conferences in the area or even across the globe. But I wanted to be the first one to welcome you all to our space. And when we first heard about this event and also just We Build Black in general. What touched us was really their mission. And so we really are thankful and grateful to them for even organizing this event. So what you see here today is literally all their magic and all the wonderful work that they've been doing for you all and just in the community in general. But we really wanted to provide a space for them to create a space for you all and really show our commitment and investment into diversity and inclusion. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and feel free, I'll be around all day if you have any additional questions, but would love to meet some of you all in person. So enjoy.